Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has a company. Today we are starting to work from the newest Beadingschool Academy Theme box, the Coral Garden. We are going to bead a retro No One Has to Bead Alone motif, the NOIRE. It was a big favorite of yours back then when we first played with it, and I also loved the motif very much, so I'm super happy to return to it. And ladies, as you might see, I'm finally here doing the video from the Beading School Amsterdam atelier, from my own studio, and it feels so incredibly special and dreamy and inspiring and free, and I'm so happy to share this moment with you. But now, very important, can you hear me? Can you see me? I just set up finally the internet these days, so hopefully everything will be all right. I was chatting with Lita a little bit already before the video, and I see Judith, Evie, Robin, Molly, Patricia, and Kim says, hello, Erika, so glad you got to have some time in your atelier. I truly think coherence in one area spreads to everything else in life. It does feel like that, dear Kim. Absolutely. Jen. Linda says, I can hear and see you, Erika. Good news. Very good news, Linda. So let's see if that works also for my hand camera. Facebook should be working. Please, someone tell me if you are watching from Facebook. Angelina is here, Kristen, Jennifer, Cindy, and thank you for the compliment. It's the Tirana necklace. That was also a good one, I think. Ingrid, honey, so good to see you, honey. Gemma, lovely, so many of you ladies. Jacqueline. And thank you so much also, ladies, for your flexibility. I realized on Wednesday that I messed up the days a little bit. And yesterday we had a bank holiday here in the Netherlands, which usually I don't really care about. And I just do my stuff also on bank holidays. But yesterday I actually went on a little trip here in the Netherlands, and honey, I went to Efteling for the first time in my life. You know what that is. So it was a very nice day, and thank you so much, ladies, for your flexibility to beading with me today. If Facebook is not working, then I kindly ask someone. I will try to start Facebook, but no, unfortunately it's not working indeed. I kindly ask someone, can you please pop a message in the Beading School Club and invite our beaders to join us on YouTube? I will look into it one by one. Okay, streaming. It says Facebook is now streaming, so maybe it will catch up. And so thank you, ladies. So in the meantime, you can already download the PDF tutorial from the usual place. So no one has to beadalone.com, or you can navigate to beadingschool.com and then choose No One Has to Bead Alone from the main menu. And as always, there are two options waiting for you. You can click the support the broadcast button and then you can check out with the tutorial through the bead shop, or you can click the yellow one and then download the tutorial as a gift from me and Beading School. But while you are tending to that, let's see what you need for today's noir motif. You can bead it already also from the Coral Garden Beading School Academy theme box, or you can reach for your own stash, of course. There are some substitutions possible, so I will walk you through that. For the focal, you need something 8mm round to bezel, and we had a homework. So if you haven't done it yet, then please square stitch bezel an 8mm per nacre cabochon, rivoli, or chaton with square stitch bezel, starting with 22 pieces of Miyuki Delicas beads. I am not going to explain that now because it would be very time consuming. So if you haven't done it yet, I posted a link to the gift tutorial for the basic square stitch bezel in the comment field. It's such a good one. I really recommend looking into it more. And if you would like to explore square stitches and really build up a base of the knowledge, then I also posted a link to the ebook explaining square stitch bezels in depth. So you will need a square stitch bezeled 8mm round something. Then you will need 11 pieces of 4mm round pearls. Then, in case that for square stitch bezel, if you, just a moment, if you scroll up a little bit, dear Christine, then you will see it, but I also post it one more time for you. So I will explain the substitutions. So originally, the motif is made with 11 pieces of size 8 round Miyuki seed bead. And if you use the round 8 Miyuki seed beads, then you will need 11 pieces of 4mm bicons. But you can substitute the 11 pieces of size 8 round Miyukis to 11 pieces of 3mm pearls, and in that case, you will need 4mm fire polished beads. So if you use size 8 seed beads, then bicon beads. If you use 3mm pearls, then you will need 4mm fire polished beads. And besides that, you will need size 11 Miyuki Delicas beads, size 15 Miyuki round beads, and size 11 Miyuki round beads. So lovely ladies, do you have any questions about the material list? By the way, the motif, it is a design by me, and we beaded it several years ago. So retro no one has to bead alone is when we reach back to a jewel that we beaded quite some time ago. And if you have been already with us, with me back then it's nice to see if your preferences have changed, if you like to use some other colors and so on. Or if you have joined us since then it's a good opportunity to find time for those older pieces, because there are many treasures in between them. Please let me know if you are prepared with the material, and then we will start beading. But I would like to mention that I am so happy to see your enthusiasm around the new Coral Garden Beading School Academy theme that we are just about to start exploring. I am so happy that you like these vibrant, crazy colors that were inspired by the underwater world. And so many of you have grabbed second, third boxes. So many of you signed up for the Academy. I'm really, really grateful. So if you are still hesitating, go for it, because it's like hot buns. And Irmo, the boxes are just starting to travel, so it will take a little bit of patience to get them. They just started to travel yesterday and we are still shipping. So lovely ladies, if there are no questions about the motif, then let's start beading. So indeed, you will need to start with a square stitch bezeled 8mm round cabochon. One moment. Okay. You should be able to see now my hand camera. So this is how it looks like. And then in the second step, we will start adding either size 8 plus 4mm pearls with a Delicas bead, or 3mm pearls together with 4mm pearls. So since I am working from Coral Garden, I'm exiting a Delicas bead in the middle row. I pick up a 3mm pearl, a 4mm pearl, and I pick up also a Miyuki Delicas. The Miyuki Delicas will hold a picot. We will create picots from these pearls. So I have the 3 new beads on my thread, and I bead back through the 4 and the 3mm ones. Lovely ladies, do you also see my hand camera well, by the way? So you can see that we will repeat this all around. After passing back through the 4 and the 3mm pearl, I bead through the Delicas that I was exiting before picking them up one more time, and then also through 2 more. So I will attach picots to every second Delicas in the bezel. That means that since I have 22 Delicas in the bezel, I will end up having 11 picots now. Linda says hand camera very clear. I'm so happy, Linda, because you know I'm broadcasting from the atelier now, and I was a bit worried about the quality of the internet. It's not the same as I have it at home, and it's not something that I can actually change because it's for the whole building. I'm in this artist community now with about 100 other artists and creatives, painters, writers. Opposite of me, there is a lady who is writing a series for Netflix. Next to me is another lady who is a sexual health educator. Then a little bit further away, a guy who makes documentaries. So it is a very, very versatile, inspiring community. Under me is my friend who is a painter. So super nice place. And Kim says this is actually the clearest and sharpest it has ever been. Linda also says very clear. Irma also likes it. This is such a relief, dear ladies. Such a relief. During the weekend, I'm going to move also my extra screen. I have a big screen at home, so I can see my graphic design program better when I am drawing for you the illustrations. That helps me very, very much. I have my microphone. I haven't used my professional microphone for months now because I already moved it to the community studio, but I was still broadcasting from home. So everything is coming together nicely. But most important, ladies, how is your noir motif going on? Do you have the bezels? Are you attaching the picots together with me? How is it going? And what kinds of colors are you working with? Judith also likes the lighting. Super nice. I'm very, very happy to hear that, Judith. So lovely, ladies. How are your motifs? And is there someone who is exploring the square stitch bezel for the first time now? Recently, I realized that I haven't beaded motifs starting with square stitch bezels for some time now. So I'm really happy that we can bead Noir from the Coral Garden box because, yeah, my fingers were itching for square stitching. My fingers were itching for square stitching. Did you see my poem that I wrote a week ago during the weekend about beading and that I published on Instagram and on Facebook stories? I do not try to claim that that literature became like a richer thing thanks to the poem. It's not the most magnificent one, but it was so fun that I just had to do it. I think it's thanks to the artist community that I started to be this like a bit weirder, crazier myself, embracing that side of mine, and that little playful poem and the dancing were all part of it. Linda likes the colors. Terry, so good to see you also. And Terry is working with similar colors. Robin is picking hers. Molly says pink and blue and yellow gold, similar to the box colors. That sounds amazing. Angelina says those milky pink rounds are so gorgeous. Angelina, these are some that I absolutely loved since the very beginning of my beading journey. And Connie says that she didn't bead for about a year and a half. And dear, dear, dear Connie, it's just, I don't know if you are beading now, but I am so happy to see your name popping up, because the most inspiring, most important is the community, of course, that we are here together. Beads are the tool that bring us together, but not actually the main attraction, I would say. And please go easy on yourself. Like I also actually, during the time when I had my Bratislava bead shop in Slovakia, I also had a year when I didn't bead at all. And I know that it sounds very, very weird. You have a bead shop and you don't bead, but I didn't have somehow the creative energy. And what's important, okay, you didn't bead for a year and a half, I didn't bead for a year. That it has happened. It's okay. nothing to beat ourselves up about. And just, if it feels good, bead again. If it doesn't, give yourself some rest, visit a museum, do something else creative, and it will come together. So I did my 11 picots, and let's see what's happening now. So now I am adding a row of milky Delicas between the already added Delica beads. So I will choose another color to make it a little bit more like a sea creature. So I will start from a Delica bead that is holding a picot, and then I pick up a Delica bead in a different color. I skip one in the bezel, and I bead through the next one that is holding a picot. And this is how I go all around. And Connie, I hope that your health is better now. And you say that you live in Drenthe, and it's such a beautiful area of the Netherlands. I'm so happy for you. And I know that actually Vincent van Gogh, he said after visiting Drenthe that it's so beautiful, he found it so beautiful that a little bit he's sad about going there, because now he will miss, after that visit, he would miss it so much, the beauty and the peaceful vibe. And you can now enjoy it every day. We have been there still together with Adam a few years ago. And I remember walking in the woods. I remember that there was lots of wildlife. I actually saw an amazing amount of boars. I saw a snake. We were also biking through the park and visited the Kröller-Müller Museum. Oh, and Connie says that indeed it is peaceful, and she has a large garden now. Oh, amazing. And Gemma says, Erika, there's a saying in Spanish, como un niño con zapatos nuevos. When you see someone very happy with something new, that's how you sound with your new atelier. So what Gemma wrote, and thanks for, I love it when we teach each other something about our languages, cultures. So the como un niño con zapatos nuevos, it means as if a kid with new shoes. And indeed, like, that's exactly how I feel. And Lita, you are here, right? I don't see your name now. But before the broadcast, I was already here, actually waiting for you guys for about half an hour. I was just so ready. And we were talking about it with Lita, that already back in 2022, I really wanted to have an atelier. And Lita said, like, I actually sounded very forlorn about being stuck in the tiny atelier and having those limitations. And I told her that, yes, it felt like that in many, many, many ways in my life. In the atelier, choices I've made. So indeed, I just enjoy being here, literally in the atelier in my new home. Very, very much. So ladies, let me know how it's going for you. I will finish this step by beading through a Delica that is under a picot, and then I bead on the outside edge by crossing the pearls, and then the Delica bead that is holding the picot. And Hannah is also here. Lovely. Are you still here? Because I don't see comments. Talk to me, ladies. I need to know if everything is all right. And in the meantime, I want to check out what's happening in the next step. So I'm starting from a Delica on top of a picot, and then I pick up 6 pieces of round 15s. I'm a bit like looking around which color of size 15s do I want to work with, because maybe not the ones that I've already prepared. It comes out like this would look very like more calm. Ladies, are you here? Let me know, please. Or I can work with these also. Do we want a softer look, or do we want this metallic look? Barbara says, mesmerized by the colors. I'm so happy. Oh, Kim is working with her Kim's Dreams cabochon, and I hope that it feels very, very special to you, Kim. I know it does, because you brought to me, you brought to us, and I'm just so happy for you experiencing this. And so thankful that you reached out and we could make this happen together. Linda is for the softer. Judith is also here. Irma is for the metallic look. Molly says hard choices. Lutka is for the softer look. I'm somehow radiating towards the metallics, I have to confess. I will go with the metallics, ladies. We should listen to our gut feelings, and I really, really, really appreciate your input. I think both work, so there is no bad answer here, but somehow I radiate towards the metallics. So I'm exiting a Delica and on top of a picot, and I pick up 6 round 15s, 4, 5, 6. Then I bead through one of the new Delica beads that I have just added in the opposite direction, so towards me. Then I bead in the original direction, meaning from me, away from me, through a size 15 that is in one line in the bezel with that new Delica. Then I bead again through the Delica towards me, and that brings them closer to each other. And I bead back through 3 round 15s out of the 6 that I have added. And I finish this step by picking up 3 more round 15s and beading through the next Delica sitting on top of a picot, and I will do this 10 more times. So I pick up 6 round 15s, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bead through a Delica towards me. I bead through a round 15 that is in one line with it. From me, away from me, again that new Delica. Back through 3 round 15s. And I pick up 3 round 15s. And I bead through the next Delica sitting on top of a picot. Ooh, Kristen is on the beach beading. That sounds amazing. Such a nice place. And on the beach, are you getting already some coral garden, into the coral garden mood? And ladies, let me know if this part with adding the seed beads is easy to understand, or shall I explain it in a different way? I'm happy to do that. Angelina says this design is so clever with the beading and embellishing at the same time. Thank you, Angelina, for your kind words. And I have to say, I am very happy with it still. Sometimes it happens, especially with the very, very first No One Has to Bead Alone designs, that I do feel that, okay, I would do it in a different way by now. And that's very natural since 6 years have passed since the first, more than 6 years by now, since the first No One Has to Bead Alone lessons. So I am actually grateful for that feeling, because it means that I have managed to develop my technical skills. It would be more alarming if it would be always the same, and I wouldn't be able to do better. But it's also very satisfactory if from time to time we go back to an older design and I still feel like, okay, Erika, that was nicely done. Because I think, of course, we want to always do better and learn and grow and improve in beading and beyond. But it's also very nice to recognize when we did well, and to be able to tap ourselves on the shoulders, to be able to give ourselves compliments and being proud of ourselves. And Leslie is here. Leslie, twisted sister Leslie from Beadsmith. What a day. What a day. So happy to see you. How are you, Leslie? Terry finds this design versatile, and we have our friend Ariana, of course, who beaded noir in pretty much all the theme colors that we have been exploring during these years. So I'm always very happy to see her variations. Rachel is also here. And Terry is adding extra picots. And I always keep repeating it, ladies, that do not shy away from your personalizations. Do not shy away. Make the motifs your own. I do not take it at all that it would be something degrading the original. Not at all. Quite the opposite. I think that the best motifs, they kind of kickstart your creativity, that they are just the beginning, and then if you start personalizing them, making modifications, then it means that they had that drop of creative energy that then you could grow and you could take and make your own. So it is rather a compliment when you keep playing with the motif. Oh, Marta also has lots of noires. And Leslie says, I'm good. I miss everyone. I'm always so excited to see your success. Oh my God, Leslie, thank you. And I'm also always so happy when I see you popping up on my social media. I'm so sad and I'm sorry that I have not been able to keep in touch how I would want to, but life has been very busy in beading and beyond. And Angelina also shares my opinion about designs, that it's just not better or worse. It's about finding our personal preferences, and that feels so good when it happens, doesn't it? So I'm nearly done with my seed bead decorations. Last chance to ask me how I did it. If you think that you need a little bit more explanation. Very, very last chance, ladies. Then we are moving on to something else. Okay, Rachel says, pop in to say hello. I am on my way out to the lab to visit with the vampire. Rachel, please explain. Like, I do have actually a thing for vampires. We have never talked about, different kinds of weirdnesses. Let's embrace our weirdnesses. I think the world would be a happier place if everyone would embrace their weirdness. So I have a thing for vampires. I think the reason is because when I was 6, then I saw Interview with a Vampire in the cinema. My mom was a single parent, so when my sister wanted to see the Interview with the Vampire, she's by 6 years older than me, then basically there was no other choice, just also take me to the cinema. It might not have been the most age-appropriate movie. However, Brad Pitt as vampire Louis, well, I think at age 6 he took my heart. So yeah, please explain. What are you doing with vampires? Kim is also very curious. And Robin says that she likes the look of the copper with the pink. So let's do next step. This is how it looks like when we have all the decorations. And then I will be adding fire polished beads, because actually Aniko was the one who worked out the modifications. And she says, if you used size 8 seed beads, then use bicons. And if you used 3mm pearls, then use 4mm fire polished beads. So here I am exiting a Delica bead on top of the picot, and I pick up Delica fire polished in the 4mm size and Delica. And this is how I bead all around. Okay, so Rachel says that for blood test after transfusion. So I hope that you're okay, Rachel, and thanks for the explanation. Oh, and Connie says, I'm so happy to be back, and the warm welcome was lovely. So good to have you back, Connie. With beading, without beading, I'm really, really happy to hear about you. Oh, and I really like the part when a motif is firming up and then, you know, the last bead just falls in the perfect space. So this is it with the fire polished beads, and I'm happy with the colors, I'm happy with the sturdiness. I'm really not happy with it that I'm running out of fire line. I didn't measure. Erika. Such a rookie mistake. I have to confess that I forgot my big spool of fire line at home today. So I'm cutting down fire lines from work in progress pieces, so I didn't have to go back and I feel a bit ashamed for doing this, but I just grabbed another work in progress piece. I cut the fire line hanging from it. I made an ugly knot, and I'm hoping for the best that I can continue beading. So keep me fingers crossed, because I'm not in the mood to like secure the strand and then start anew. I just want to go on. So let's see. It might be possible since the holes are not yet tightened up. It's a lot more risky if I would pull a trick like this, if the holes would be already filled very much with thread. So let's see. But ladies, to make me feel better, do you sometimes cheat and do things that you know that you shouldn't? Like, I always tell you that when you need to frog a little bit, then put away your needle. Do not try to go back through the beads with the needle, because you will push your needle accidentally through the fire line and you will damage it. But there are the moments when either I am in a hurry, and then I know that I will mess it up, actually, when I'm in a hurry, but when I'm just too sure about it that it will work, so I do it anyway. But I think this is working out now. Okay, good. So do you do that sometimes? And now we are adding a little bit more. So I will finish the edge first. So I'm adding, I will modify here the steps so I don't have to go back and forth. And I will add first size 11s in between the groups that I have just added, the groups of Delica and Delica, fire polished Delica. Okay, Caroline says, Erika, just know that I have broken 2 needles in the past 30 minutes. Caroline, thank you. Thank you so much. Kristen says, of course, she does stuff like this. Angelina says, it's all good. Have to improvise during live videos. And Caroline also says that, yes, I do go back sometimes. And sometimes I'm sorry I did. Indeed. But yeah, it's so easy to talk about things in theory, and then once you face the actual challenges, once you face life, then it might be completely different than theory. So that's why I think also in beading and beyond, we need to be forgiving with ourselves and with each other. And Cindy says that this has been one of her favorite designs like ever. So I'm adding size 11s into these gaps. Oh, I became very rebellious today. I'm changing the order of the steps. I hope I didn't have a good reason to bead to the center of the motif and then out again, back then when I designed Noir. So I hope that all will be well in the end. And Kim also has some encouraging words for Connie. She says she also had a time when she was not beading, but then she got back to it after 3 years. And Faye is here. And also Joyce is here. But Lita, I didn't see you after the beginning. Is Lita here? I hope so. So I end up in a size 11, and let's do the edges. So now I'm adding size 15s in a different color. Now I will add the softer pink tone. You see how rebellious I am? This is a third color of the size 15s. Do it, ladies. If you feel that something might work, do differ from the original. Explore your preferences. So exiting a size 11, I pick up a size 15. Then I pick up 5 pieces of Delicas for 5. I bead in the opposite direction through the fire polished bead towards me. Then I bead through the first 2 and the last 2 Delicas, and this makes the seed bead decoration pointier because the middle one will be pushed out on the edge. And then I pick up a size 15 again, and I bead through the size 11 that I have just added. And I repeat this all around. So size 15, 5 pieces of Delicas, 3, 4, 5, in the opposite direction through the fire polished bead. First 2 Delicas, skipping the middle one, last 2 Delicas. And Linda says, I love it in the milky pink, and the metallic beads were a good choice. Thank you, Linda. I'm happy with it. Caroline says that she's beading something else at the moment, but still, like, even when you ladies are beading something else, but you are joining, you are just stopping by to say hi or listening while you are working on something else, it feels so incredibly good. And Leslie asks if this project is in the new ebook. No, dear Leslie, and thanks for mentioning the new ebook. The ebook, The Strong Together. I will look it up and give you a link now. It contains 13 tutorials from bead artists from all around the world, and they are all beaded beads, because the main idea was that I wanted to show that from tiny beads we can build strong structures like beaded beads, because those are like really the proof of how we can make things happen even from the tiniest seed beads. And then we can join them into beautiful sparkly jewels. And in the same way, we can create change. We can embrace change through small actions. We can show that we are strong together, just as the little beads grow into a strong structure together. Then if we stand together, beaders, designers, bead shops, everyone, manufacturers, then we can also create something beautiful and strong in the beading world. And when I was writing not the tutorial, but like the other chapters for the ebook, for example, the introduction, that what is it all about, then I was writing about our friendship, for example, with Andrea, who is my high school, one of my high school besties, and also she is my partner in crime at beading school. And like so many things have happened over the past years in the beading world and beyond, and we had to learn so much. Like, it is an insane ride sometimes, but the biggest, best, most valuable lesson that we've learned is that together we are strong. Together we are strong, and we can do everything we want. And Erika is asking, why are we doing this on Friday? So, dear Erika, it's because here in the Netherlands, we had a bank holiday yesterday. And usually I don't mind beading on a bank holidays. I really don't differentiate. But yesterday I had a program with someone else, and that's why I wanted to actually take a day off so we can do that together, and that's why I asked for this change. And thank you so much for your flexibility, ladies, when we posted about it on Wednesday. I really appreciated it, and it was a great day yesterday. So yeah, it's my fault. And I didn't realize in advance that it's a bank holiday, so that's why it was a bit last minute, and I apologize. I apologize for the change. Connie said she bought the book. Connie, thank you so much. I hope that it will bring you lots of happy moments. And if you go to the club, then you will already see some of the beads beaded. Ariana did a lot already, but there are quite a lot of beaded beads popping up already, especially the one from Aniko. The projects are in alphabetical order based on the first name of the designer. So Aniko is actually the first one in it, and she created a beautiful beaded bead with preciosa fancy stones. It looks amazing. And Kim asks, how far away is your atelier from your flat? So, dear Kim, like, is this new neighborhood where I live? Honey, you will know, you know Amsterdam. I live now next to Rembrandt Park, just outside of the ring, not in Old West anymore. So first I was a little bit like, okay, will I love this neighborhood? And now I'm completely in love with it. And everywhere I go during my daily life, it is within the neighborhood. So my flat, it's 5 minutes from the place, 5 minutes biking. Okay, we measure here time by on like how long does it take to bike there, not to walk, drive, whatever, to bike. So 5 minutes biking, I have the place where I go swimming in the summer. Then about 8 minutes biking from home, I have the atelier. About between the atelier and between me is the place where I like to go for coffee. Then, also nearby, 2 minutes biking from me is the gym where I go these days. Another 10 minutes, 5 minutes are 2 more parks where I can go. So, it's really, it just feels like my new village, and I'm really loving it. And Kristen asks, I'm curious, how many people bought Strong together? And Kristen, that's a question that I would also love to get an answer for. And it sounds so easy. However, because of the different variations, because of having like only the ebook, and then the ebook with the fancies and focals, then with then only the fancies and focals, and then with the luxury components, it's hard to answer, and I need to like calculate, and I didn't do that for a while, but I can say like several hundred beaders bought it. And Hone is asking if I still have the grandma bike, the Oma Fits. No, I don't have it anymore. It got so rusty after a while that I had to buy something new. And then I bought, I'm going back now to the middle of the bezel, and I will add little picots in between the Delicas beads in the new color, in the second color. So in 2021, I think, I bought a vintage Peugeot bike. It's an old race bike, a beautiful white Peugeot race bike, and it's only 1 year younger than I am. It feels incredible, and I am using that during these past 5 years. The turquoise bike, I don't have it anymore. I couldn't get rid of the squeaky noises anymore that it has made. And also I kept losing parts of it, like literally I kept losing part of the bicycle. And now I'm exiting one of those Delicas in the middle, and I pick up 3 pieces of round 15s. I choose the blush pink ones, and then I bead through the next Delica in the same position. And then again. And it seems that I had no good reason why I went to the edge and then back again. So I can still add these seed bead decorations in the middle. Lita, I see you now. I see you now. I don't know why didn't I see you earlier. So weird, because we were chatting in the beginning and then I didn't see you anymore, and now I see you again, and it's so good to have you back. I was wondering, like, what's happening. Wow, Lita says that her account was blocked somehow. Okay, I will ask the customer service of the program that I am using about that what is happening, because that is really not nice. And I'm sorry to hear. And Hannah says that she got an email from the Treasury that the fancies and focals will be a little bit delayed. And indeed, unfortunately, we couldn't post to everyone right away because, like, suddenly so many of you went for the fancies and focals, and it was the good choice, ladies, that we unexpectedly ran out of 1 or 2 types of the material, and we had to reorder them from the manufacturer. But everything is on its way now, so we do our best to catch up, and you can already pre-order it and reserve yours if you haven't done it yet. And Connie says that tomorrow she will make Noir. I'm really happy to hear that, Connie, but no pressure, okay? Just take it easy and enjoy. If it feels good to bead for 5 minutes, bead for 5 minutes. If it feels good to bead for an hour, bead for 1 hour. Don't push yourself, please. We are doing this because we want to enjoy it. This is not a chore. And I'm done in the meantime. So this is how it looks like. And I will switch back now for my face. So ladies, thank you so much for beading with me today. Please let me know if you have a question. I'm here to answer everything. And otherwise, I would like to invite you to join me on Tuesday so we can see all the first jewels that you can bead from the Coral Garden Beadingschool Academy Theme box. They are going to be amazing. Again, Susie did such a good job. I love her designs, but also Ruxi has amazing pieces for us. So I can't wait to show you everything. And so that's happening. That's happening on Tuesday. And otherwise, I would like to wish you a very happy weekend. Very nice time. relaxing, recharging, and I can't wait to see you again next week. So if you are interested in academy boxes, then go for it, because Coral Garden is going like hot buns. And if you got curious about the book that Leslie and the other ladies have mentioned, then I also have the link for you. So lovely ladies, if you have no questions, then thank you so much. See you soon. Wishing you happy beading. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye bye.